far away.
How's it settled in now that you guys had a big win and resetting your guys for NC State on the road?
You know, it's settled in. I mean, you know, we've been here before, so, you know, at this point, you know, I think I'm looking for a little more maturity and expectation as we come out of the last game. So, you know, practice was business, and we feel like we can get on a little run, but you know, in order to get a winning streak, you got to win too. So, you know, it's a big game against NC State, and you know, I like where the guys are headed, more importantly, I like the way they're connected with each other, more so than the coaching. You know what I mean? I like the way they're holding each other accountable for the things that are going on.
How's Bai doing? Is he gonna be able to play Saturday?
Yeah, he playing.
Okay.
You talked a lot about consistency, and that was really a big part of winning against North Carolina. Does that get your message across to the guys a little better now?
I hope so. You know, it's just, you know, the thing is you focus on one game, and now you gotta change your mindset going into the next, because it's a different opponent and it's a different style also. You know, the guys did a great job of executing the game plan and making plays, you know, because that's essentially all it is. But we got to do the same thing against NC State. You know, as far as I'm concerned, as big of a game and big of a win as it is, you know, the Carolina game is over. You know, but we shouldn't be talking about it on Friday, the day before we play, and what we're going to carry over. So we need to have a mindset, you know, that we can do it, but at the same time too, we need to be talking about DJ Horn. We need to be talking about Burns kid. You know, we need to be talking about who we got next. You know, how we're going to attack their up-tempo style of play. You know, I'm more concerned about that.
Do you think it helps going on the road to just have that reset versus maybe being home after a big win like that?
I do sometimes. I've always loved the road. You know, as a player, I love the road. My biggest games came on the road. I feel like everybody has a comfort zone at home. And when you go on the road, it's just you and your guys. And, I do like the fact that we are going on the road, and I think that, you know, we have fun on the road. We have a lot of camaraderie on the road. So I think that, you know, hopefully it will set a tone for us coming tomorrow.
Is Burns the type of guy that you might have to play similar to the way you played Baycott? You know, maybe he likes to bully you down low and maybe double up a little on him with Kapari, and so he can't take advantage of his size?
I don't know. I think the best part of his game is passing, to be honest with you. I think he's a really good passer for his size. Probably don't get as much credit for that. He's low though, and when he plays well, they're usually really good, so we're going to have to figure some things out with him.
Probably should remind you it's Groundhog's Day. I know you like talking about Groundhog's Day.
It's Groundhog's Day?
Yeah. I know your team has fallen into that trap of those inconsistencies. I mean, has that been sort of the message this week, not to do that again?
I've been trying to leave it alone. I mean, we've been here before, and we know what this looks like. And, you know, again, I've listened to them talk to each other, and so I hear the accountability amongst them. Just remember, like, as a coach, you're trying to preach a message, but you know everybody's listening when they start preaching that same message amongst each other. And so that's what I was hearing. I was hearing, and I talked about it. I was hearing it in our last game. So that's what I'm really happy about.
Talk about Kyle's role. I know you like to bring him off the bench, give the team a little spark, you know, what he can add. But then at the same time, you have him on the floor with Nate. Is that something you maybe want to give him more minutes, considering how they perform together?
They've been playing a lot together lately anyway. You know, I think at the end of the day, I love playing 2 point guards. I just don't know if the people around here have seen that, but that's kind of how basketball is played. We was in Boston, we played Pritchard, Smart, Derek White. We put them all on the floor together. And with Kyle, he's an added playmaker. So, you know, to have him, you know, Nate on the court together, like, it causes problems, and that duo has been effective.
It seemed like Wasey and Miles are trying to step up their leadership and not necessarily just be about scoring the basketball. I saw Wasey talk to Kapari before the last rebound on the free throw, remind him to box out. just those little things, Miles crashing the glass in the second half, even though shot wasn't falling. Are you finally seeing kind of the leadership you want to see from those guys?
I mean, leadership is, we figuring it out, but, I do hear, like I said, I have heard guys talking, and it's getting better, and as we go forward, hopefully it continues to lead to the successes on the floor. Because when I talk, for me, leadership, it only adds to what they do. It doesn't add to what I do. It makes my job harder, but it makes their job easier if it's leadership and accountability amongst themselves. I'm telling you, I've never been on a successful team where there was not leadership. When there wasn't leadership, the teams I played on weren't that good.
You got a little emotional on Tuesday night. Where did that emotion come from?
It's not really. It's not really the emotions of it. It's the what we do every day, and so I don't think people really understand that. And so you come to the game. It's like when somebody calls me, I'll hear. A friend of mine had called me, and then he started telling me about my team, and I'm like, man, I've been there with them every day, so I know what they do or what they don't do. You know what I mean? And so the emotions of it really just had to do with, I'm proud of them, because we had every reason to fold in that game. We had every reason to really just fold the season and just move forward, but they haven't done that. And they've responded. They've responded to my coaching. They've responded to each other. And to get a win against a team that came in here with a 10-game win streak, undefeated in conference, that was amazing. That was amazing, and that was a credit to them. And then to do it without, probably our best player, arguably our best player, like that was a credit to who these guys are and how they've been working when nobody's looking.
When you talk about losing by that had Ty playing a lot more minutes than he probably normally used to playing. When you watch him out there, is there a point where you say maybe I need to take him out, give him a blow, and so he can be more effective further on in the game?
I mean, that's just everybody. I just think all the guys, they're gonna need a blow. You gotta know how to manage minutes, manage games. I mean, that's my job. So that's what I try to do. They did a good job with Bai going out and the 5 fouls. Put a lot of pressure on him and Eby. But they both responded, and they both, I thought did a really good job.
A couple more. Y'all good?
That's it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.